Welcome back, Halo followers. Today we're going to be talking about everything we know about Halo Infinite's multiplayer beta or flight. So there's one post on Waypoint that we're going to recap, as well as an email sent out to insiders, which I'm going to share with you guys that kind of gives us a little bit of an idea on when we can expect this big beta or flights to roll out. On Waypoint, they said, back when we first announced Halo Infinite, we talked about the importance the community would play in development and beyond via Halo Insider flighting. Pre-release technical previews is actually the name for that, right? And feedback. We've seen firsthand the good that comes with empowering and partnering with our community to get pre-release gameplay feedback and feature input, which has been instrumental on our Halo the Master Chief Collection journey over the past few years. Obviously, what they've done with MCC has been a warm-up and practice for what they're doing with Infinite, not only with the flights, but also microtransactions. And why they say their schedule is shifted due to the, C19 and development timelines, our commitment to our community has not. Later this summer, we still plan for limited pre-release technical previews with Halo Insiders to help stress test and improve the game on the road to launch. We'll have a lot more details to share as we get closer, but in the meantime, make sure you're registered with the Halo Insider program if you'd like an opportunity to potentially participate in future flights, which, by the way, I've left a link down in the description for that. And by the way, I just feel like it's important to remind you guys that this is because of the delay. They weren't actually going to have pre-release technical previews or flights last year if the game did release in 2020, but now they are because they have all this extra time. And I think it was fundamental for Halo 5. I think that's why Halo 4's multiplayer sucked. And so the fact that they're doing this means that the game is going to get ahead of itself a little bit. I think every game should have a practice run because too often do games launch broken and incomplete, and really there's no punishment on the studios or corporations behind it, and we just get a crappy release, and then the game starts getting improved from launch day, which is just really inappropriate. They say player feedback and community partnership will be even more critical in the weeks and months following release. When we say that launch is just the beginning, we mean just that. In addition to new features, content, and experiences, which, by the way, we did hear from the extended showcase that they will be bringing in new weapons, maps, and I think vehicles, but at least modes as well after launch in the coming weeks and months when it does release, probably this November. So that's something to look forward to. They say we will be looking closely with the player community to shape and evolve the game together via feedback and future flights and technical previews. So even after the game releases, they're still going to be doing these flights and technical previews, which I think is a superpower that 343 now has, is really committing to these flights. So when is it coming? When can you play Halo Infinite? Well, they actually do say that there will be the beta coming later this summer. All right, that's pretty unspecific, but we do know that summer technically ends on September 22nd, at least this year, right? So what can we draw from that? That means that we are going to be able to get hands-on with Halo Infinite within the next 3 months, right? That's a pretty small time frame, honestly, when we've been following this game for over 5 years. So in the next 3 months, groups of people are going to be able to play Halo Infinite. It's unclear whether it's going to be everyone or if it's just going to be, just like the flights with MCC, select groups that follow specific criteria that we don't even know what the criteria is. Maybe certain graphics cards, certain people, I don't know, just when they signed up, certain demographics that they're probably targeting and trying to get information on. And it's also probably random, but as these flights go on, they're going to get larger and larger. And I really do hope at some point 343 releases the floodgates for everyone to jump in once the first flights go through. And if they don't want us to share gameplay, by the way, there's certainly going to be a lot of people sharing gameplay regardless, because these flights, when they first came out, you were not supposed to record gameplay and share it anywhere. You were under kind of almost an NDA kind of thing, but that didn't really stop people from sharing it on YouTube and whatnot, and eventually 343 became more lax with it. So, that also, by the way, with a flight coming, pretty much confirms that there is gameplay coming, whether it be leaked or allowed, and also official gameplay promoting it. I think this is going to be great for Halo and great for people that will be able to play Halo in the next few months. I mean, we're looking at 6 months, 5 months from now to play the game officially, but, I think most of us are going to get our hands on this game in the next 3 months, maybe 2 months. And I think at the very end of July is probably when they're going to really start talking about this. Maybe mid-July, maybe early July, but sometime in July just seems like the right time frame. But they said later this summer it is coming. And on the email that I got was actually a brand new picture of the Karaba Sirocco armor coating. God, I can't pronounce anything. Anyway, yeah, so the brand new picture, probably just a sneak peek at the preview. What are we going to get in it, right? I think it's just going to be the maps that we've pretty much seen from E3, if maybe just a few less. You know, when we look back at Halo Reach's beta, there was a lot of things that needed to be ironed out. You know, there was a few modes that were eventually cut, and there were a lot of, you know, glitches and bugs, and that's the whole point of previews, and is to stress test the system. It's supposed to catch flaws and big critical problems with the gameplay like Halo 5 did and like the other betas did before, just specifically like with Reach. So I think this preview would actually be a great opportunity for 343 Industries to test new modes, and I really hope that we see a good look at the game. Ultimately, there wasn't much content that wasn't on the beta with Halo Reach that was eventually in the final game. You know, excluding the campaign, excluding most of the multiplayer maps, we still got a good feel for the game and the abilities and weapons, and certainly that's what every beta pretty much guarantees. You're going to get a good feel of the game, and I think this almost kind of is a demo in some ways as well. They're only going to have like 2 months to really react to gameplay feedback, assuming, let's say it comes as late as September, then yeah, that's only going to be about 2 months, and we know that they're going to release the game this year. So anyways, I have a theory. I think the sooner you sign up, it's going to give you a better chance at playing Halo Infinite. Regarding priority, I really have no clue on who 343 chooses, but since there's so few Xbox Series X consoles out there, and since that's kind of like the flagship, you know, game, this is a flagship game with that console, right? Then I think getting your hands on an Xbox Series X might be a good idea if you're really, really eager to play this early. They are hard to find, and the cheapest ones you can find, honestly, are, you know, been snagged, and they're by people that are selling them for like $800, $900. So it might not be worth it if you have the money for it, and you're wanting to buy one anyway, and you want to just grab one, then maybe you should do it. I've been thinking about doing that for a while, but there's also the possibility of just having the right graphics card, and I don't know who who these flights are first going to be for. But anyways, I just hope that they give it to everyone at some point. But with that being said, guys, I think I'm pretty much going to wrap up the video, as there's not much more to say about the subject. That, you know, the beta is coming later this summer. There's going to be rings, probably flight sections where small groups are chosen, and then they get bigger and bigger, and then hopefully everyone can join, because Halo Infinite has a big promise. It's free to play. The servers need to be you know, squeaky clean. They need to be working on day one, so they need to stress test this to the masses. Everyone that wants to play this should be able to try to play the inside flights or whatever, and really stress test the program. But with that being said, guys, I actually did just start opening up memberships on Halo followers. So there's a $5 and $10 tier. They're pretty much just ways to support the channel, but the perks are pretty much giving you priority during live streams and more updates on my animations. So like the lore accurate stuff, Project Eden, my 90-minute Halo parody film that I've been working on for about 3 years now, as well as Halo The Lost Wolves Episode 2. So if you want some additional content from the channel, specifically animation stuff and interacting with me, then go support the channel. Sign up for the Mythic or Legendary level. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one soon. Peace.